Very good evening, friends. I'm Nalinakshay Swami, welcoming to my channel Smart Index Set. So, I want to make you the trade simple. Why? Go to the rolling pivot. By default, Gann HiLo is 1321. Manual rolling pivot, by default, it comes to hourly. So, what you need to do is change it to 15 minutes and save as default, save OK. Why I'm telling is, if I go to the 1 minute time frame, it gives you, let me go there, it gives you automatically 15 minutes. The reason for that is when the market gaps down, let me go back and show it to you. When the market gaps down, then immediately, if you are on the 5 minutes or the 15 minutes, you will not get the box. These are the pivot box. Pivot box should be formed. So when pivot box on the second 15 minutes, pivot box will start forming. So you got the first hour high and mark, simple thing is mark the pivot R1 of the first box and the pivot of the first box and the S1 of the box. Then change the time frame to 5 minutes. Change the time frame to 5 minutes so that you can take, otherwise you can take the trade with the 1 minute scalping also, keeping this as the stop loss. 22,737 is the pivot and the price is trading below the 22,737 is the pivot and the R1 is 22,890. Sorry, 90. No, something wrong. I have typed it wrong. 22,890. And the pivot S1 is 22,630. 22,630. So let us extend all the lines so that they will stay at the chord. Style, extend right, and this one, let me extend right. Okay, let me extend this right. So I've got the 3 lines over here. Let me hide the 65-minute, this one. So with the rolling pivot only, I'm going to show you 65-minute is for my hourly, this one, that we can enable that. If we enable, that will be very nice actually, 65-minute. If I enable, you get to see the hourly breakdown. Okay. Now I'm changing to 5 minutes. Then it becomes easy for you people to understand the trade. See, the box will not form. Box will not form. In 1 minute, you got the, with the 1 minute, you got the R1, R1 here, pivot here, and the S1 here, right? When you are on the 5 minutes, you need to wait for 15 because on the 5 minute, only after 60 minutes, one box is formed. So you will not be getting the pivot and support and resistance over here. You have already got the pivot, support and resistance. For time being, let me hide the hourly pivot. 65 minutes, this one. You know this is the S1. S1, this is the box. Say till This is the pivot, 22,737. Second 15 minutes. After 1 hour, one more box is formed. See, already market has finished 1025. It is below the pivot. So you can comfortably can be in the put option. You need not go here. It started climbing above the pivot, but this was the second 15 minutes, second hourly. 1, 2. The box has formed over here, regular box. So this is also a reference point. You keep it. So beautifully, market came after 3 hours. See, market traded in down move below this and tested this 22,654. Even though it was a trap, you know that it could not go to the pivot of 1 minute. When we were in the 1 minute, we got the 15-minute pivot. 15-minute pivot and support and resistance. Market could not come to that. It did not trade above that. That is a beauty. This is the hack you can utilize for your trade. Let me repeat it to you. First, go to the rolling pivot settings. By default, it will be 1321. Manual rolling pivot time frame will be by default 14 minutes. Change it to 15 minutes. The reason is if you change it to 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute time frame, you get the immediate box. That is the idea for getting the pivot box. We are getting this box immediately after first 15 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 minutes. You are getting a box. You are marking that and you are see how on 1 minute itself with confidence you can take the trade. Let me go to the put option. What was the resistance? This was the pivot. So then you select the put option according to that. 22,750 put option, go to 22,750 put option. Let me go to the Nifty and let me select 22,750 put option. Okay, friends. See, let me remove everything. And I am on the 1 minute chart. 1 minute chart. I am getting immediately this box. This is resistance. You are marking resistance, pivot, and support. Okay? Pivot and support. In 1 minute itself, we are getting first box in the next 15 minutes. So it is easy. You need not wait for full 1 hour to form the box. When I change the time frame to 5 minutes, it will be a beautiful reference for you to take the trade. Right? Here, what happened? Let me go there. What happened here? This was your pivot. 229. This was your resistance. Even if you would have taken above 310 also, you would have made money. This is the pivot and you can take the trade even considering this is the pivot is increasing. After 15 minutes, pivot is increasing. Keeping this as guideline, even last minute scalping could have been done. 277 to it closed around 352. 352, that's how you can take the trade. Same way, if you are on the wrong trade, for example, if you have taken thinking that it is a call option, when the market comes down, you have gone into the 22,500 call option. Let us see. Let us go to 1 minute time frame. 1 minute time frame. So the reason for that 1 minute time frame, we'll be getting this pivot box immediately. So we are marking this pivot box, and you see beautifully this is the resistance. When the price started moving below the pivot, that is around what time? 9:44. So you come to know that underlying is also below that, you can enter into the put option. So 22,750 put option. See here, 22,750 put option around 944. You can see 1 minute itself, the pivot is rising. Second box is forming over here. Second box is forming over here, and the support is, the pivot is becoming the S1. Isn't it beautiful? So the price you could have entered comfortably around 243, keeping your stop loss as the main pivot as your stop loss, 225 as stop loss if you would have entered. And once you enter into the, you can change the time frame to 5 minutes, or you can stay there and the Gann HiLo running along with. Well, as long as it goes there, see, along the line, pivot, this is the first resistance box and second pivot. And the third pivot is above the resistance. Fourth pivot. Like that, you can track the, see, once it started coming down to the pivot support coming down, it indicated some exhaustion in the put option. You can around 11:15 you could have exited your trade. Like this, you can track, it becomes easy. Many people are scalpers. For the scalper, this is an hack. They can utilize this. This is how you have to understand the trade. Once I enable this 65-minute trade, this is the second hour, third hour. So you will get a guidance around for the second hour low and all those things. With my template, you are getting second hour. You can, even if you change the time frame, you will be comfortable to take the trade. With the first box, first pivot box, you need it. You need it. When the market opens, you will come to know whether the pivot box, the formation of the pivot box, you can make out. For example, let us check any other stock which is bullish or bearish stocks also. Let me take you to the Infosys itself. Just for an example, I'm taking the Infosys, and let us check. Let us go to 1 minute time frame. 1 minute time frame. Yeah, here. 1 minute time frame. This is the first box formed over here. You mark the pivot, you mark the support, mark the resistance. So likewise, suppose if you think it is positive, because it is showing positivity, right? Let me zoom it up. It is a positive thing. Price is above the pivot first minute box and the pivot is rising. So if you want to do that, what you can do is, for that you could have selected the first resistance is 1243 and the pivot is 1230. You could have selected 1240 call option. Same procedure you could have done. You could have, let me reset the chart. There is no liquidity here. That happens actually because it is March, this one. March, they don't allow you to trade. You can go to 1240 call option. Uh, April, April also there is no, even without any uh, thing, you can make out the box. This is the, if I go to the first one, second box is formed here. Second box is formed here. This is your support, resistance. There is, see how much disparity in this to the underlying to the, so it gave buying opportunity only here around six. There was no liquidity. Of course, you cannot trade that, and from 64 it rallied up to 69, only 4 rupees. It's not worth trading that. Just for an example I showed you, you can do that. Now at present, crude oil is trading, it is fallen so much. Now I am on the 1 minute time frame. One box will tell you the 15-minute boxes. This is 15-minute box. So if you mark the 15-minute box, this is the 15-minute. Whenever you want to trade, you can trade like this. So suppose if you have entered here like this, and this is the first 15-minute box, and this is the resistance. So go to the 5 minutes. Scalping you cannot do. This is the resistance, this is the pivot, and price is below. So you need to think of put option in the crude oil. Let me go to the put option over here. Put option in the crude oil, and so much of money. Retailers can trade because it has been increased exorbitantly. Same way you can make the box. So suppose if you want to enter now. You got this box. Mark the pivot, mark the resistance, and mark the support. Okay. Now change the time frame to 5 minutes and see what it is doing. So you know the support over here. You have marked the support. This is the pivot of the first 15 minutes on this one. So you need not worry. You have got some, see, this is the support, right? The price is trying, now dozy has been formed, and price is trading close. It has not closed. 4 minutes are there. 5-minute candle it is. So you know the pivot. So as long as it is above the pivot 1197, you can trade better. This is how you can find and hack even in the indicator. If you find an hack, you can trade better. This is an hack. I've shown it to you people. From now onwards, start using it. Thank you very much. Nalnakshi Swami signing off.